During this short session, we're going to look at a few aspects of joining services and teams to technicians. First of all, we're going to try and understand the relationships between services, teams and technicians. Then we're going to try and understand why these relationships are so important. We're going to look at ways to find services that are not assigned to a team, and we're going to create those relationships between services and teams. The session should last no more than 10 minutes, and you can watch it as many times as you like. First of all, let's look at the three elements here. We're going to look at a service, we're going to look at an employee or a technician, and we're going to look at a team. So let's start by looking at a service. Choosing Service Search from the menu at the top, we can look for the site we're interested in. Demo site 1. When we hit Return or press Search, we're given a list of 4 services that are active on that site. The service types are listed down here. So the service is the type of work that we're going to do for the customer on that site. We also have technicians. By choosing employees and employee search, we can search for an employee name or look for them by initials. So for the purposes of this demonstration, I'm going to pick on John Daldry. Type his name in the employee name and press search, and John Daldry appears. If we right click on John Daldry, we can view the technician. We can see some information about that technician, and we can also see the teams that that technician is a member of. If we change John Daldry into Danny Monroe and choose search, Danny's a contracts manager. Let's opposite mouse and view Danny's details. Because Danny's a contracts manager, he's a member of a very special team, and that team is NAN space R. There's an equivalent space R for every region that we have. So there would be an SNL space R, and that would be associated with the contract manager who is in charge of SNL. So now we've established the three elements of a service, a technician, and a team that they're a member of. Every time a new service comes online, an association is created by default with a contracts manager. So that's that space R we talked about before. The association is made so a contract manager can search for, find, and then allocate any new services that come online. Now I'm going to show you how to join them together in the right way. So first of all, let's find that site again. We service search and we look for demo site 1 and we search. And we found 4 services on there. It's the grounds maintenance service that we're interested in. We right click, choose Open Service, and we can look at the service card itself. There's lots of information on the service card. I'm sure you recognize most of it. We're interested in this tab here, which is the Area Information tab. We can see that this site, this service, is associated with NAN space R. So that's the team that's associated to this site. So let's just close that down again and approach it from a different angle. Clear our search results. Now you remember I said Danny was in a special team called NAN space R. On this screen we can search for services that are allocated to a particular team. Using the postcode box, which is a bit of a misnomer, it's not really a postcode, it's an association. What we're going to do is we're going to type in NAN space R. Now when I hit search, what we're going to see are all the services that are associated with NAN space R and that are therefore associated with Danny Monroe. And we've got one service associated with Danny Monroe, and it's the demo site. Now what we want to do is we want to break that association with Danny and create another association with the technician who's going to do the work. We want John Daldry to have the association with this site. So we go back to employees, employee search. We want to search for John Daldry. Daldry, just as we did before. Right click on John Daldry and view the technician. John is a member of 3 teams, as we can see here. The team that we're interested in, the team that we want to make the association with, is NAN01. The team that is NAN01 is going to do most of the work on this service. So let's close that screen down and go back to our service search. As we did before, we open the service, we choose the area information, and there's the association we've got with Danny. We're going to break that association and create one with John Daldry. John Daldry, as we just saw, is a member of NAN01, which is John Daldry's team. We press Tab to move out of that screen, and down here you'll notice that that's changed from NAN space R to NAN01. Choose X to close the service card and save your changes. Now when we search for NAN space R, there are no services associated with Danny Munro. But if we were to search for NAN01 or John Daldry's team, we can now see that he has got an association with Demo Site 01, which is exactly what we wanted to do. So we've looked at how those associations are broken and made, but why would it be necessary to make or break those associations? Well, there's a couple of things within SAFE that are quite useful. If we, for example, were to double click on the service card itself, we see a list of the visits that have already been scheduled, and if we choose to add a visit to this card, we'll see that it already recommends John Daldry because it's him that has the association with that service. So that's quite a useful feature. We can also use the bulk scheduler. We can also use the bulk scheduler, he says, schedule visits from the service card. Again, it's recommended John Daldry because we've made that association. So all those are quite useful features that are going to save you some time. Now what's most interesting of all is that association is made with a service card, and that service card has a value of £10,000. That £10,000 is associated with that team. That team is associated with John Daldry. And therefore, when we run a report to find out the value associated with each team, we can see how much revenue each individual employee, by their association through a team, has got associated with them. And that's something we use as a key performance indicator within the business. So let's just go back to SAFE and recap. We've learned that there's a service card and a technician and a team. We've learned what those associations are. We've learned how to search for sites and services where that association is made with a contracts manager. We've learned how when we find those sites as a contracts manager, we can make the association with the right team and the right employees. And we've also learned what the importance of making those correct associations are. That's all I want to cover during this session because there's quite a lot to take in. So thank you very much.